Hi everybody, my name is Robin and welcome to my channel Bird's Eye Stitches. This is a channel about cross stitch, so if you are new here then welcome. I hope you are here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do, and if you are returning, still welcome. You are obviously here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do. So today is Tuesday, it is April 25th. This is actually my second time around in filming this video. I filmed earlier and thought I was filming like normal. I know I have done the thing before where you hit film and you're really not filming and you realize it 30 minutes in. That's not the case this time. This time I was filming and I thought I had a power cable plugged into my tablet. It was a power cable, but apparently if I have my tablet plugged in to charge, it does not record my sound. So it just was a video of like this. So here we are again, re-recording. That's okay. Anyway, it's Tuesday. I think I already mentioned that. But I'm filming on a Tuesday because I was off this last weekend. I attended Stitchnanigans, which is super exciting. I will fill you in on that a little bit later on in the video. But yeah, so I took the weekend off to go to Las Vegas since that's where it was held. And I am past the age where I can just go on vacation out of town somewhere, fly home, and then turn around and go right back to work. I need a recovery day. So I flew home yesterday, which was Monday, and I took today off so I could recover, unpack, hang with my dog, all of those things. So, all right, stitching. We are here to talk about stitchy stuff. So I'm gonna go over the stuff that I worked on over this last week or so, and then show you an item that I found while I was yard sailing recently, because it's pretty exciting. And then Stitchnanigans recap, and part of the recap will of course be showing you what I stitched and all of those things. So should be a good video. Okay. First step, what did I work on over the last week or so? I guess the last 2 weeks. Not a whole lot. It was actually really busy work weeks the last couple weeks. All kinds of things going on, but got a little bit of stitching in. So first thing that I started working on was the Adventure Sampler by Rebecca Murphy, Sambry Stitches. Looks like this, sort of, kind of. This one is one that I was working on for the Magazine Monthly Challenge Facebook group. Our acrostic this month for the month of April is shelves, which goes with the theme of library. So if you're part of the group and you're working on the acrostic or the theme, you don't have to work on a magazine piece. This is proof of that, not from a magazine. But you can kind of choose your own rules, right? So for me, when I'm working on my acrostic, I usually do 2 hours a piece, and I shoot for 4 hours for the theme piece. So for the acrostic on this one, I used the Adventure Sampler for the S in shelves, so S times 2, which means I got 4 hours in. And I'm using it for the S because it was done by Sambry Stitches Designs. All right, this is a kit, so I am stitching it on Called For Everything, which means that I'm stitching it in the Be Stitch Me silks that it comes with, and with a hand-dyed fabric, which it's hand-dyed, so this one looks like this. Mine does not. Mine's a much darker color. I'm trying to read on here to see what the name of this fabric is, and I don't see it off this list. Stitch count. Oh, there it is. It's 18 count Fall by Be Stitch Me. I think that mine is a better representation of fall. I think of fall colors. So mine looks like this. Ta-da! It is coming right along. So this again was 4 additional hours. So I got the rest of this house done. I connected this little brook. There's a little tree in here. I sound like that little painter, right? And it's a tiny little tree, happy little tree. And then this is the beginning of a deer. So we've just got the hooves and like the chest of the deer. The rest of the deer is going to be done in the same color as the Bigfoot. And then I think I also might have finished the rest of the eagle. I don't remember for sure. So I am almost done with the motifs. So as far as motifs go, I just have the rest of this deer and then there's a little cloud up in here. Once that's done, it's all border, but the border is going to take a minute. The border, as you can see, it's pretty detailed. It's very count heavy because it does this weavy in and out thing, and I love all these bluebirds. So those bluebirds are really going to pop. So we just have that to go. But this one is going to stay out. Yeah, this one's going to stay out. I don't have it anymore in my letters, but because this one is so simple to work on, if I'm watching a show or something like that with my daughter, and my daughter's with me this week, so you know, we hang out in the evenings, obviously, after school, and so I'll be working on this a little bit more here and there. Okay, the next one that I worked on was my theme piece. My theme piece for Magazine Monthly Challenge. The theme is library, and my theme piece is an owl because, well, owls are wise, and this one is very whimsical, which matches a lot of the books that I like to read. So this is Fabulous Feathers. It is a design by Shannon Wasseleaf. It is from The World of Cross Stitching, number 56. Looks like this. Finished design, which is going to take eternity. Looks like this. Okay, I forgot how hard this piece was. So I started this, I think, during Mania a number of years ago. Ooh, Mania is like right around the corner. I don't know if I'm doing Mania. That just occurred to me. I have to watch some Flosstube, get inspired for Mania. Anyway, side note. Anyway, I started this for Mania a while back, 2019, maybe 2020. I don't know, but I didn't get very far. I just got a few little stitches in this realm. I forgot this is hard to stitch. Like, I don't know if I just went backwards, or maybe because I've been stitching relatively simple pieces, but I pulled this out and oh my gosh, it kicked my butt. It took a really long time just to do the little bit that I did. So I'm stitching this on a piece of Be Stitch Me fabric. I've got a Be Stitch Me theme going on here. It is a piece of Jobelin 32 count, and there is not a color written on here. It's like a peachy color. I got only 1 hour in, but we are here. So first of all, trying to count on a lot of these little circles and doodads. There are skip stitches all through here because there is tons of beads, tons of specialty floss. I mean, it's like a bedazzled, bejeweled owl for sure. Beautiful when we're done, but it's going to be a lot. When I started this, I had this done, the feet aren't done, but this amount of the feet were done, and then some of this white, which is not white, it is actually a metallic thread. I think I'm using a DMC metallic for that. But I stitched all of this area here, this motif here, and that is as far as I got in that 1 hour. But this will stay out because I need to get 3 more hours in before the end of the month. So hopefully I'll make up a little bit of time. It just, it took me a minute to really get my bearings there on the counting. But Fabulous Feathers, I think I've seen some others on Instagram who have stitched this. I'm going to go look it up just so I can, you know, give myself some motivation to continue because it is so pretty. But as you can see, there's seed beads scattered throughout. I'm trying to get my camera to focus. But tons of seed beads, tons of specialty floss, tons of back stitch, just beautiful. But what the heck was I thinking? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I'm gonna sip of water because it's round 2 of recording this. All right, so, okay, before I get into Stitchnanigans, and I've got other stitchy things to show you, but they're things that I worked on during Stitchnanigans as well. So before I jump into that, one other thing that I did over the last couple weeks, well, I go all the time, right? But I went yard sailing, and when I was yard sailing, I feel the last few times that I've gone, I have found true gems that are cross-stitch related. And I'm not talking haul, I'm talking like finished pieces. So I want to start something like, you know, the YouTube shorts. I watch YouTube shorts all the time, and most of the ones that I watch are like comedy and things like that. But I want to start a YouTube shorts series called Save the Stitches. And I know a number of Flosstubers do a Save the Stitches type thing within their videos. And so I thought that would be fun for me to do because I find them all the time at Goodwill and all the time at yard sales. And so do a Save the Stitches short that really gives them some new life, right? Maybe I'll have a spot in my stitch room where I can put these things up. But anyway, at this last one, I found a number of good items. I'm just going to show you one of them briefly so I can move it out of here, and then we'll chat about Stitchnanigans greatness. Okay, so I'm at the yard sale, walking around, and I see that someone has a whole bunch of dimensions kits, old ones. It's in a baggie, but dimensions kits, I don't know when these were from. It might tell me. 1987. So I was 3 years old when this came out. Here we go. So yes, I'm 38. But this is the dimensions kit. There was this one and a whole bunch of others. And what really intrigued me about looking at this opened dimensions kit is that, little crinkly, sorry, I could tell this one had been stitched because I also had a floss card sitting in there. So there was a number of other things for sale that were finished pieces. So I asked the person who was running the yard sale if they had any more finished cross-stitch pieces, specifically this one, because I could tell whoever owned this also had this. So she went in the garage and she looked around and she said she found that she actually did have this piece fully finished. So I'm going to show that to you. Ready for this? Oh, it's heavy. Here we go. Yeah, I know there's some glare there. There'll be some non-glare when I show this more up close in the short, but this is just amazing. So I asked the person who's running the yard sale, obviously, who is the stitcher. It was her mom, and she has passed away, and she gave most of her stuff to her friends, you know, her stitching friends, but there was just a few pieces left over. So this, to me, was just gorgeous, and you can't see too well here, but again, I'll do a short to do it up close. But there are so many French knots scattered all throughout this piece. Full of French knots, full of great stitches. And the framing is really nice too. Look at this thing. It's heavy. It's like a beast of a frame. So anyway, Save the Stitches. You will see this up close and more in the near future. But it's just super exciting to see things like this at a yard sale. And to be able to get, I like the yard sale more than Goodwill because you can get a story from where it came from, which to me is the best part. So, all right. That is now moved. We can chat a little bit about Stitchnanigans. So I attended Stitchnanigans this last weekend. It was in Las Vegas, so it was Stitchnanigans 2023, held in Las Vegas. It was put together by McKenna, who, Stitching in Sequins is her Flosstube channel. That just jumped out of my brain. But this is the first Stitchnanigans that I have attended, even though I live in Arizona, which is where McKenna is from. And I think that that is where they had Stitchnanigans last year, or last time they ran it. I couldn't attend that one. So this is my first Stitchnanigans. It was also my first time in Las Vegas since I was like 18 years old. So basically a whole new world, right? Las Vegas is so busy. It was fun to visit, but I 100% could not live there. Just so many people, so much going on all the time that fun to visit, happy to come home, right? But the Stitchnanigans part was a blast. So I had a great table. My table group was fantastic. We got lots of stitching in, lots of chatting in, and then because it was my first time in Las Vegas, I used it as a vacation. So during the day I was up, I would get there around 8:30 and just stitch until around 5, 6 o'clock, and then I would take off and go enjoy Las Vegas. So great time. All right, while I was there, so now that I moved that photo out of the way, the frame that I used, I had a number of people come and ask me about this while I was there. So I actually traveled with this. This is a R&R craft frame. It's a lap stand or table stand. They sell them on the Garan Toten Bags website. I don't know if they have them for sale right now, but that's where I got mine from. It was very inexpensive for a frame. And the best part, I mean, it's very lightweight, right, because it's made out of PVC. And it breaks all apart. So I ended up flying. Las Vegas is not that far to drive, but I ended up flying because I found tickets on Spirit Airlines for like round trip, like $20 or $25. So, I mean, I literally cannot fill my vehicle's gas tank up for that. So I flew. Downside to flying, especially on Spirit Air, you are very limited as to what you can bring because I didn't want to pay for luggage, which means I was attending a Stitch conference with a JanSport backpack to hold everything. So, yeah, I brought this. I broke it all apart. It fit in my backpack. I do not have the grime guard. Garan makes grime guards. I just haven't ordered one yet, but he actually makes them so it has the holes for the feet here. I'll pick that up here pretty soon. He's got a few really nice ones on his website right now. I just need to pick one up. So anyway, put your piece on here. It sat on the table, and then because I'm so short, when it was sitting on the table, sometimes my arms would get a little tired, so I would just move it to my lap, and I was able to two-hand stitch, and it was fantastic. The lighting in the room was not great because it was a conference room. Obviously, conferences, most of them are not stitch related, and there wasn't power, so that way people wouldn't trip. So we had to bring our own lights. I just brought this book light. I got this book light off of Amazon a couple of years ago. Again, very inexpensive. I could charge it with a USB, so I would charge it all night, and then I would attend I would get in there, start stitching around 8. Whenever we broke for lunch, I would bring this right back to my room and I would plug it in again. So it was freshly charged and it worked great. So light snapped right there on the frame, pulled it down, ta-da, stitch away. So it worked great. There's so many choices when you're looking for something to bring on a retreat, but for me, I like things to be compact, and I just don't like it to be very bulky. So this was completely perfect. And I promise this is just water, even though it's in an alcohol cup, but just water. Okay, so what did I work on? What actually went on that frame? I brought one piece for each day that I was at the conference. So I guess they're not really in order now. So on one of the days, I did a new start. So my new start was a Madame Lafitte piece. I chose that as my new start for a couple of reasons. Number one, there is the Madame Lafitte Sal going on right now. My friend Carolyn Seasook Stitch, who was greatly missed at this conference, by the way. As a number of you know, my first Stitch conference was the one that Acorns and Threads did last year, and I was able to attend that with Carolyn, and so she was double missed for this one because she didn't attend this one. So anyway, you were missed. Okay, so Madame Lafitte. Stitching that with my friend Carolyn, my friend Andrea, and a number of you other stitchers out there. In fact, I got on my Gmail account and I saw at least one person had sent me an email, so I need to reply to that. But there is a number of people all stitching this Sal, so that's really exciting. So I want to get some stitches in for that. Then on the Magazine Monthly Challenge Facebook group, we are doing a pop-up challenge right now. We do a monthly pop-up challenge. And for this month, it is, it's Earth themed, right? Earth, what's it worth? Earth themes. So this one that I'm stitching is this guy here. It's Madame Lafitte. And there is some little gardening boxes, plants, and then of course birds, because there has to be some birds. But this fit really nicely for that theme as well. So I did 5 hours on this piece, which is what the pop-up challenge prompt called for. I'm stitching this also on a piece of Be Stitch Me. I own a lot of Stitch Me fabric. I went through a phase which I actually had to leave her Facebook group because I was on there like every Friday night for the Friday Night Fight Night. Like, it was a problem. I use my fabric, which is glorious, but I had to jump off the group, at least for a little while, because I had no willpower. Okay, anyway, this is Stitch Me. It's a 36 count linen in the color Artemis. I have not stitched on a 36 count linen in some time, and I had switched at the conference from a larger count linen that was super easy to see to this light blue color, and it took my eyes a minute to figure out what the heck I was doing. So I did 5 hours and I got to here. So do not let this fool you. I know it doesn't look like much, but there is like 5 colors in this little doodad, this and this guy here. And then it is very confetti heavy. It's going to be beautiful, but it was confetti. Also, I started on this border here, and again, my eyes, they were struggling. Like I don't know. It was a struggle. But I miscounted so many times in this corner. I came up here and over, and so I don't even usually frog. Like, if I mess up, I usually just try to make it work. However, sometimes you can't, right? And the border is a place I could not really fudge. Plus, it's in white, and so the white stitches on this linen, it was just, I wanted them to look nice because this piece is going to be beautiful, and these stitches are what's going to frame the piece. So I really took my time with those. But yeah, 5 hours, we are here. So I finished this for the Magazine Monthly Challenge, pop-up challenge, and posted some things on Instagram. I never use Instagram. We're gonna get there. But I did post this, and I scrolled through some of the other people who had posted, so that was really fun. So we got that done. This will not come out again this month, but it is gonna go in the rotation in the month of May. So you will see this again relatively soon. Oh yeah, 5 hours. That's how long I worked on that guy there. Okay, that was on Saturday. So Saturday was my lengthiest day. Yes, that was on Saturday. Then on Sunday, I worked on Alessandra Adelaide's New Year in the Village. Will one day look something like this. This one here, I worked on, number one, I like that it has blocks of color. I'm also really trying to finish it at some point this year, so I wanted to get some good time there. And it was one of the letters in my acrostic for Magazine Monthly Challenge. So this I'm using for the letter E in the acrostic of shells. So I stitched on New Year in the Village for both E's, so for 4 hours. And I chose it because it's New Year's Eve. That's when I started it many, many years ago. So I got 4 hours then. And then I got an additional 4-ish hours. I tried to stop my timer when I was chit-chatting and things like that, but you know, you do what you can. But 4-ish hours while at the conference, so, or at the retreat. Probably shouldn't call it a conference. It's definitely more of a retreat. Okay, so I am stitching mine on a piece of hand-dyed fabrics by Stephanie. It is a 32 count opal linen, and it is off the Q-snap. Just fold it. Okay. Whew. Okay, I'm folding this fabric, and it still smells like Vegas. Slight side note. So I had just gotten done, I saw an ad for some type of cigarette brand, right? I was watching a TV show here in Arizona, and I saw a cigarette ad. And I made the comment to my boyfriend. I said, who in the world smokes these days? Like, I don't see anybody smoking where I live. I grew up, my parents were smokers. I was very used to all of that, right? But now, I don't, at least not cigarettes, right? Marijuana's all over the place, but I don't see people smoking cigarettes ever. Well, if you go to Las Vegas, you will find people still smoke. So smoking is allowed in the casinos, and because the retreat was held in a casino, although there was non-smoking sections and, you know, you didn't smoke in the rooms per se, there was just smoke all around. So as I'm folding this up, it just has a slight hint of Las Vegas. It'll go away, or it'll get washed. So, okay, this is where we are. See if that color can become a little bit truer. There it goes. So this is off the Q-snap, so I don't think it's been shown off the Q-snap in some time. This side over here was already done. This firework is not done yet. It still has the specialty floss to go. But when I was working on it last, it was more like this. And what I worked on while on the retreat, I had only done a little bit of this yellow house, so I finished this yellow house and then started the outline on this second house here. So it is amazing. You think that in 4 hours of time you could stitch a whole one of these. Nope. But that's where we got there. Okay. All right. Then, last but not least, as far as projects go that I worked on, and I said I brought one for each day, was the Jack Frost Tree Farm by Little House Needleworks. I'm working on just the top block first. This is also part of my acrostic for the monthly challenge, magazine monthly challenge group. This is my H in shelves, so H for house. One day it'll look like this. I am stitching mine on Called For Everything, so this is on 30 count portobello from, I don't know if that's what this is. I got it as a kit, but I have a feeling that it's a different linen. I don't know. But it is a linen, and it looks similar to the color portobello. And when I started, all of this part here was done up until, so I can hold this properly. Okay, so this was complete, and then half the sign was relatively complete, so you can focus, there it goes. So when I was there, let's see if that's a little better, a little bit, there it goes. So I got a lot more of the sign done, and then I continued some of the border. I was concerned once I saw this thing on the Q-snap that my piece was not big enough. Clearly it's plenty big enough. We're good to go there. This is not the edge. There's about 20 more stitches this direction, but it was just too close to my border on the Q-snap. But still, it'll fit. So as long as it'll fit, we're good. But I got through beyond that border. It was a whole lot of white. And then I also got through the rest of these words. I tried to do the white in the sign just because I was trying to just keep one color going while I was chit-chatting, but trying to count around letters proved to be much harder than stitching the letters first and then filling in the sign. So that's what I did. So we are here. This will be staying in my rotation because this is another one that I really want to finish at least this block on, and really I want to finish this and at least one other block this year, but if I can do more, great. I'm going to be stitching this entire set, and I just love it. There we go. Okay. Oh, and that piece, I think I got the least amount of stitching on because it was day 1. So we didn't start till noon on day 1, and there was, of course, extra chatting and things like that. So I stitched 3-ish hours on day 1 on that piece. So that's what we got. Okay, speaking of chatting, so table mates. I'm going to show you guys what I picked up at the retreat and talk a little bit about the fantastic people at my table that I met and all of that along the way. So let's see, who was at my table? I had to write them down so I don't mess up everybody's name. Ali Melendez, she was at my table, and she actually has a Facebook group called Halloween Stitching, which I just joined this morning. So she was stitching some Halloween pieces, beautiful Halloween pieces, and I got on that Facebook group and scrolled around just a little bit, and there's some beautiful projects on that. So I will remember to link that Facebook group in the comments on this video later on tonight. So yeah, Ali Melendez doing Halloween stitching while she was there. She had one Halloween piece and one patriotic piece, and they were both stunning. I thought she was going to finish one of them because she was very, very close, but she didn't quite get there. So it's great to meet her. Then I had Chelsea Olish. Hopefully I'm saying your last name right. Chelsea's fantastic. I think I probably spent the most amount of time chatting with her. She stitches Hades. She stitches everything. She has, I think she said she had around 80 whips, which is amazing. So one day, I mean, we're connected on Facebook now. So hi Chelsea, hopefully you see this. We will be chit-chatting, and I look forward to getting to know her and continuing that friendship, because 80 whips, like, I need to see all of them. So yeah, Chelsea's at my table. And then I was super excited about this. So the person who sat down to my left, I'm very visual, was Trisha, the left-handed stitcher. That was exciting. Whenever you see Flosstubers that you watch fairly regularly and then you meet them in person, it's like mind blown, right? I mean, it's someone that you get to know them from watching the videos, but it's different from getting to talk with them and interact with them in person. So Trisha, the left-handed stitcher, was at my table. She is a left-handed stitcher. She's also a very prolific stitcher. She was the only one at our table. Oh no, that's not true. We had one other finish. But she had more than one finish, which I am sure she will show on one of her Flosstube videos if she hasn't done it already. So yeah, she was just stitching away beautiful pieces. Her stitches laid so nice. I mean, I love the pieces that she chose, but seeing them in person, it was like, just, you could tell she's been stitching for a long time. They were absolutely gorgeous. She brought some pistachios for us at her table. There's a pistachio farm near where she lives. They were delicious. I ate some there. I ate most of them on the plane. I love pistachios. Except for the pistachios that are not really open. Those are a tease, because I have absolutely no idea. You know, the pistachios where they're not even cracked? Like, it is not humanly possible to open them. If you guys know how to do that, please let me know so I can try, because I cannot break them with my teeth, because it would probably break my teeth. And how the heck else do you do it? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, so Trisha, the left-handed stitcher, is at my table. And then we'll just go into my mini pile as I continue on about who's at my table. So Gina was at my table. Gina, I don't remember your last name because I just wrote down Gina. But Gina, she has, it's not a store. She doesn't really sell them anymore on like Etsy, but I think she sold them on Facebook at one time, and now she takes them to retreats and things like that. But she makes beautiful project bags. I bought 2 of them, which I will show shortly. But she also made this awesome thing here for the people at her table. They didn't all look like this, but I have this beautiful color. It's nice and bright green and vibrant. But this came in handy, 100%. It held my orts, so it's an ort holder or whatever else you want. And then she also gave us these tiny little scissors. Now, the scissors that I brought to the retreat were these ones, which I have now found, but during the retreat, I couldn't find them. Where the heck did they go? Luckily, she brought these. So I love, number one, they're tiny, itty bitty little things, but I love this little holder that snaps on top of it. If I'm traveling with cross stitch and pieces and things like that, the last thing you want is for your scissors to poke holes in things. So very helpful. And very well made. So she made these. While I'm talking about Gina, Gina also had a finish. She was doing one of the, the stacks of animals. She was working on one of those, and she finished that one. So that was exciting to see. So only 2 people at our table, I think, had finishes. So, which is still pretty good for a stitching retreat, because all the talking and everything else going on, any finishes are like, it rarely happens, right? Okay, bags. Purchased some bags that she had made. So the first one is this one. It is like, it just makes me happy, right? It has rainbow Christmassy plaid. It's not super red, it's more like a pinky color, right? But it has plaid. It has classic Christmas. It is beautifully quilted. It's a nice thick bag, kind of like my Garon bags. It has Christmas polka dots on the inside, like, seriously. Get in my bag. I had to have it. Loved it. The other one is a little bit different from the norm for me, but the color spoke to me. So here we go. Again, this one was also quilted. Not all of her bags are quilted. She did have some that had the vinyl front, but so pretty, so pretty. The back of it is a light green. Looks like this. Has some cute words, cute phrases. It has a double zipper with a cute little sewing machine belt zipper pull on there. I don't know if you can really see that. There it goes. And then on the inside is just a nice cream color. But again, it's nice and padded, so pretty. But this blue is so nice. And it's got the bird, pumpkin, sunflowers. I just love all of it. Yeah, so gorgeous, gorgeous work. Thank you, Gina. Okay, other things that I either picked up, had freebies, or passed around by some excellent, excellent people. I got one of these. So this was actually made by Marilyn. Marilyn, yes. Hi, Marilyn. It's great to meet you. Marilyn watches this channel, and it was super fun. It was super fun getting to talk to people in person. Not only did I talk to Flosstubers that I watch regularly, but to have people who watch my channel come over and say hello was really fantastic. It was humbling just to hear from people, and just so nice to put faces with comments, especially people who comment regularly. Putting a face with those comments, fantastic. By far the best part of going to a retreat is just connecting with people, right? That's why we make these Flosstube videos, and that's why you go on retreats. Stitching is fun, all of that is fun, but at least for me, the people completely make it. So anyway, Marilyn was passing these around. So she just made bobbins. Mine has its anchor in the color 291. Obviously I chose this one because it's bright yellow, my favorite color. So this is fantastic, and it's got a little pin here on the top. So that is super cute. I'm going to put this on my little stitchy spot that is in the living room because it will match all of the little things I have sitting on there. A little pop of color. Super cute. Alright, and then we had these very Las Vegas themed needle minders that were created. They're magnetic needle minders. It says extremely strong magnets, but these were created by Scarlet Sky Designs, and I have not gone onto her website yet, but she does have an Etsy store, and she is on Instagram, Scarlet Sky Design STX. She was sitting at the table, I think, in front of me. So short of just a little bit of chit chat about their beautiful pieces, that's the only time I really spoke with her. But she made these. So they are a flashy resin in black and red because it was Vegas. And they are, you know, like cards. So super great gift. Just beautiful. I will definitely be checking out her channel because one of my needle minders died while I was there. I could fix it, I know, but instead it's time to get another needle minder. You know, when the magnet snaps off, that's what happened. So these came in handy. Don't want to put that over there. All right, in the grab bag, I'm not going to go through everything, just the highlight items. So in the grab bag from 1884 Stitchery, I got 2 silks And honestly, I didn't even think to check. I don't know if everybody got the same colors or not. I'll be watching other people's recap videos and kind of start comparing, but the colors I got were just beautiful. But I will be using these colors in a project that I'm starting in just the next couple days. So the colors I got were Imperial Green and Autumn Leaves. And this was 1884 Stitchery Silks by Vicki Clayton. Colors look like this. They are showing up beautifully against my black t-shirt. They're so pretty. This Imperial Green is just a gorgeous foresty type color. And then these autumn ones, so pretty. They're very light, but it's like light peach and pink and gold. Gorgeous. So I've never used any Vicki Clayton silks, but I'm excited to use these. So thank you for McKenna for these. Also in that grab bag is two things. We got a free chart, the Las Vegas Swirl. This is a chart that was made for Stitchnanigans 2023, and it looks like it's by Works by ABC, who is Arlene Cohen. I will be stitching this just to remember the retreat. I'll probably change out the colors, but it looks like that, even though I do love yellow. And then the other chart that I got, not everybody got, was a design by Stitch and Mommy, who was at the retreat. Excuse me, sorry, lots of talking. So Sarah, Stitch and Mommy, was at the retreat, and this is another one where kind of like Left-Handed Stitcher, right, who was at my table. Sarah was not at my table, but she came up to me. She got there a little bit later in the day on Friday, so I didn't notice when she came in. And she came over to our table and said hello, introduced herself, and again, it was like mind blown, trying not to trip over my words, because she is so nice even in person. Obviously she's always nice on her channel, and I've chatted with her here and there, but in person she is the exact same, just a fantastic individual. We got a photo together, and I look forward to meeting up with Sarah again, maybe Acorns and Threads, something like that. We can hang out, get Carolyn in the mix, and I can really see the three of us having a good time. So that was fun. Anyway, the chart that she designed. So I got sidetracked. Stitch and Mommy, she designed Friendship. Here we go. It says, friendship is born at that moment when one person says to another, "What, you too? I thought I was the only one." So it looks like that is a quote from C.S. Lewis. So it looks like this. I love the quote, and I love that you can switch out colors and everything else. So this would be really fun to stitch, with a friend and choose both of the friend's favorite colors, something along those lines. There's two sets of initials, so you could obviously put your initials in there and your friend, or however you want to work it. But I loved it. And I don't know if it's coming through really well, but I really like these little scissors. Super cute. Super cute. So thank you, Sarah, for designing this and for saying hello. And I will see you at a future retreat, I hope. Okay, a couple other things will wrap this up. So there was a freebie table. I grabbed just a couple of things off the freebie table. Yeah, all designs I'd never seen before. So I picked up two designs by Diane Grabner Designs, who I've never heard of. They almost look a little bit like Amish-y. We have this one. It's like a little girl. I'm now filming in the late afternoon, so the sun is like right over there, and it's like right, I have two windows up above where I'm filming, and it's just shining right on there. I don't even have any other light on right now, but it looks like this. The other one that I got kind of reminded me of the retreat a little bit. So again, kind of like Amish designs. See if this will focus. But you've got a little girl, a little boy. There's a cat up in a tree, and there's this goose just like hunking away. That's probably why the cat is scared and is up the tree. While I was at the retreat, I was walking one morning, just drinking some coffee, and there was a goose And I'm like, oh, let's say hi to the goose. And as I'm walking by, the goose did not say hi. It started hissing at me. So not a friendly goose at 6 o'clock in the morning. Probably because it's in Las Vegas and not many people get up at 6 a.m. in Las Vegas. So probably people who live there do, but most of the tourists are all sleeping. So, okay, got those two. Then I got the last spike. I'm assuming it's a French design because it also says whatever that says. I think that's French. But I've never seen anything, I've never seen this design before. You have this guy here who is laying the last spike. If it will focus. Maybe if I hide my face. It's a little better. Okay. So I just thought he was interesting. He'd be fun to stitch and put on a shelf. It's just very classic design. Very interesting looking. And I love the top hat. It's very, very classic. So got that. Then I picked up a magazine. It's an older issue of For the Love of Cross Stitch from 1996. Looks like this. I got it because I liked the Christmas on the front. And it's not there. I'll just show you one pattern from it. But there is a bird piece in here that I just loved. There it is. Carolyn Shores Wright designed, it's called Christmas Song. And it looks like this. How cute are those birds? Like, if that's not me, I don't know what is. So I definitely need to stitch those. So I picked that up. That was it for the freebie table. Was that it? No. One other thing that I picked up. There were some vendors at the event. One of them was Live and Die LA, maybe? Live and Die LA, yes. They sold fabrics and all kinds of other beautiful stuff. So I picked up, this is just a piece, it's a bookmark piece. Right, looks like this, piece of hand-dyed bookmark. It is in the color Malt of the Earth, which is a fun color name. It is a 14 count Aida, and it's finished along the sides, which is great. I'm going to use this. My daughter subscribes to my channel. I know she doesn't watch the whole video. That's okay. That's good. So I'm going to be starting this. She's a big reader, and so I'm going to stitch a design on here for her because her birthday is coming up in the next few months. So I'm going to get going on that. I just got the pattern for it, so I will show that on my next video. And then I got 2 opalescent fabrics because, I don't know, I shopped on the day that I was working on New Year in the Village and the sparkle was calling to me. So the first one that I got was in a color that was the 2023 Retreat exclusive. So she dyed this specifically for the exclusive, and it's called LA Sunset. I got a 32 count Lugana opal. It is a, let's see if I can get this to, oh no, that's worse. There we go, okay. There we go, that's pretty good. So it's darker than what it's showing up here, but it's close. It is a straight up, like, magenta pink work of art. It's gorgeous. What the heck I'm going to stitch on this, I don't know, but I did not own any pink fabric. I have some that's like maroon, or not maroon, but like a boysenberry, but not magenta pink. So I'm thinking like a fairy, or I don't know, something that really brings this to life. But it was the Retreat exclusive color, so had to have it. And then the last one that I got was, this is a neutral, but it's a neutral with bling, which I don't see very often. So most of my neutrals are gray toned, but I'm finding a few of the pieces I've been doing as of late, I've been wanting more of a brown or a peachy tone. Of course, I'm like a gray lover, and now this year I've been loving peach and blue. So, I don't know. But this is Malt of the Earth, so the exact same as what the bookmark is in, except it is opalescent. It's also a 32 count Lugana, because that's my favorite. And you can see, try to take this out of the bag. Probably should have taken the pink one out of the bag too. But earlier today, when I filmed the first time, this was not a problem. So, is that any better? Stand by, stand by. Not really. Well, I promise that it's not white. I'll get some better photos of this one, and I'm sure you'll see it again as I figure out what the heck to stitch on it. But it is a brown toned neutral, and it's beautiful. There is some modeling on it, but it is very light, and I just love that it is like, it's a color you could use to do a sampler. Like, it's like a parchment color, right? But it's got some bling. So maybe, it's just out of my reach. It just came to me. Carolyn, when we start Bling Tree, my Bling Tree is going to be on this. Hopefully it'll fit. We'll find out. So, okay, I think that about wraps this up. Plans, Magazine Monthly Challenge, we have a Zoom call coming up on Saturday. It's at 9 o'clock. I believe that 9 o'clock in the morning is the Arizona time. But if you're part of the group and you join, we did make an event for it. If you join the event should flip to the correct time in your time zone. But that's coming up on Saturday, so looking forward to that. And then I joined a Facebook group, Magical Stitches. I was part of this group many, many moons ago, and then they do challenges and everything else, but back then they were like challenges where you were, you know, like teams would go up against each other and things like that. When I wasn't stitching very often, I felt like I was taking up space, so I left that group. Now, number one, I'm stitching more, and I've been really in the mood to get back into like other types of challenges besides acrostics. So I joined that group. They're not like doing challenges where you're like on a race anymore, so I can stitch at my own pace and not feel like I'm holding back the team or something like that. So I joined that. I'll be putting together a couple of pieces to stitch for the month of May once I see what those prompts are. And then Mania, I don't know that I'm going to participate in Mania. I think I'm just going to watch everybody else. My version of Mania is going to be to get some stitches in. Maybe I can stitch every month or every day in the month of May for Mania. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, before this lighting gets any worse, because it is 4:45 in the afternoon, it is time for me to go. So I will see you in a couple of weeks. All my old giveaway stuff should definitely be with those winners. I need to check my email to make sure you guys all receive them. And then I'll have a new giveaway piece for my next video. Watch for Save the Stitches shorts. That will come out Friday. I'm off on Friday, so I think I'll be able to film that fairly easily then. So watch for that. And that's all I got. Happy stitching.